And when you get that, that more or less ensures a nomination, because there are probably only 10 parts of any size.
In the 1950s, John Wayne was fighting a war unlike anything Hollywood could script. A secret war that blurred the line between myth and reality. Soviet assassins were allegedly sent across America to kill him. Snipers in Mexico, fake FBI agents in Los Angeles, and all of it ordered by Joseph Stalin himself. The reason? Wayne had become a loud and dangerous voice against communism, a living symbol of American strength. According to reports that surfaced decades later, the FBI quietly warned him about the threats, but Wayne refused protection. He wasn't about to hide behind bodyguards or live in fear. Instead, he decided to face the killers himself. One story, repeated by his longtime stuntman Yakima Kanut, claimed that 2 Soviet agents once showed up at Wayne's office pretending to be FBI men. Wayne let them in, offered them chairs, and then pulled a gun. "Now, you sons of bitches, I'm going to kill you both," he said, before pulling the trigger twice. The gun was loaded with blanks, but the sound alone shattered their nerves. They broke down completely and later begged the FBI for asylum, agreeing to become double agents rather than return to the Soviet Union. Stalin's wrath was deadlier than any bullet, and according to some, this bold act by Wayne not only saved his life, but also helped U.S. intelligence uncover key Cold War secrets. But the legend didn't stop there. Another attempt reportedly happened in 1953 while Wayne was filming Hondo in Mexico. Stalin had died by then, yet the shadow of his order lingered. A sniper was allegedly sent to finish the job, but Mexican security forces caught him before the shot could be fired. Even years later, during the Vietnam War, Chinese leader Mao Zedong supposedly sent his own assassin after Wayne. Again, nothing came of it. Every time, Wayne refused to hide, saying, "This is the land of the free, and I won't live any other way." Behind that unshakable image was a man shaped by hardship. Born in a small Iowa home in 1907, Wayne, then called Marion Morrison, grew up during rough times. His father's drugstores kept failing, forcing the family to move constantly, scraping by from town to town. After a fire destroyed their home, they packed up and went west to California. There, Marion's best friend was his dog, Duke, who followed him everywhere. Locals started calling the boy Little Duke, and from that nickname, an identity was born. By high school, he was a towering 6'4" athlete, playing football with brutal energy. He earned a football scholarship to USC, but an injury ended that dream, leaving him broke. His next stop was Fox Studios, where he worked as a prop boy for $35 a week, hauling furniture, moving lights, and taking whatever odd jobs he could find. Then fate struck. Director Raoul Walsh spotted him moving props and cast him as the lead in The Big Trail. The studio didn't like his real name, so they changed it, without asking, to John Wayne. That name would soon define an era, but stardom didn't come easy. The Big Trail flopped, and Wayne spent nearly a decade stuck in cheap, low-budget westerns, making just $75 per movie. He performed his own stunts, suffered broken bones, and risked his life doing tricks that would never be allowed today. When Stagecoach hit theaters in 1939, it changed everything. Suddenly, that nameless extra became America's ultimate cowboy. Then came the war. While other men went off to fight, Wayne stayed in Hollywood. Officially, he had family responsibilities, but the truth haunted him. He made 13 war films during World War II, portraying heroes who sacrificed everything while knowing deep down that he hadn't. Soldiers in real combat zones mocked him, calling him a coward. Some even refused to shake his hand. That guilt burned in him for decades, driving him deeper into patriotism and politics. In the 1950s, Wayne became more than a movie star. He became a weapon of ideology. He backed McCarthy's anti-communist crusades, supported blacklisting writers and directors, and even helped exile High Noon screenwriter Carl Foreman for refusing to testify. Wayne said later, "He was the only guy who ever fooled me." He was relentless, convinced that defending America meant silencing its critics. Yet, ironically, It was this same paranoia that made him a target for Stalin's assassins in the first place. Still, Wayne's personal life was a storm of contradictions. 3 marriages, multiple affairs, drinking, violence, and guilt followed him off-screen. Marlene Dietrich became his most famous lover, a fiery, unpredictable actress who once told a director, "Buy me that," after seeing Wayne for the first time. Their affair nearly destroyed his first marriage and left scars he never fully healed. By the time he reached the peak of his career, Wayne had become an American myth. Rugged, fearless, flawed, and unyielding. He was the embodiment of the cowboy ideal, the man who stood tall no matter the odds. Yet his later years showed the cracks beneath the legend. In 1971, his explosive Playboy interview revealed a side of him the public didn't expect. Racist, unapologetic, and stubbornly out of touch. "I believe in white supremacy," he said, "until the blacks are educated enough." Those words came back to haunt his legacy decades later, leading to petitions, protests, and the removal of his name from buildings and film schools. Even so, his influence never disappeared. He made over 170 films, earned an Oscar for True Grit, and built an empire that still defines the American Western. When he died in 1979, his family fought over his fortune, his image, and even his name. Lawsuits between his children and ex-wife dragged on for years. In death, as in life, John Wayne remained larger than the world around him. Part man, part myth, and wholly American. So was the story of Stalin's death order real? Some call it Cold War propaganda, others swear it was fact. Maybe the truth lies somewhere in between, woven into the legend of a man who refused to hide, even when the world was hunting him. Because whether it was on the battlefield of Hollywood politics or in the shadow of Soviet spies, John Wayne lived and died by one rule: never back down. For more untold Hollywood stories that pull back the curtain on fame, fear, and the legends we thought we knew, follow the Backstage Eyes, where the truth is always more dramatic than the movie.